when you're starting out, you have no portfolio, you have no network, and you don't have money. So ano lang yung meron ka. So sabi ko, what I only had then was belief in my skill, I had grit, and I stayed consistent. Actually sa simula, you don't have the luxury of choosing the projects that you have eh. Kung ano yung pumasok.
Huwag masyadong magmadali. Not everyone has the opportunity to have clients like that. You have to establish your foundation.
This show is brought to you by Cine Haraya Advertising Corporation, Davies, Landlight, and Rockwool Philippines. And thank you to the brand partners that make this show happen.
Freedom has a color. It lives in the seas that surround us, the skies that open our future, and the dreams that carry us forward. In 2026, Davies unveils a color that unites calm with energy, heritage with innovation, and the Filipino spirit with the world. Malaya Teal, the color of freedom.
Good morning. Welcome to Build Boss PH. I'm your host for today, Architect Richard Garcia from Gala Architecture. Today, we'll be discussing about ideas, people na involved sa industry natin, from the design to the construction. How do we able to help and collaborate with making the name sa field niya, no? He's the principal designer of MN Design Studio, interior designer, Mauro Nepomuceno. Welcome to Build Boss PH, Mauro.
So thank you for having me today. Again, I am interior designer Mauro Nepomuceno. I am the principal designer of MN Design Studio. So I have been a licensed designer since 2009. Established my firm in MN Design Studio back in 2016. So we are actually turning 10 years already by next year.
Wow, congratulations on your 10th year. No? So that's good. And I mean, this interview would be able to understand yung journey mo, no? Dito sa industry natin, no? Sa design industry, no? From the architectural world to the interior designer. So later on, we'll be tackling these concerns and mga things that ano yung mga possible collaboration and how we'll be able to makatulong tayo, no, sa built environment natin. So maybe we'll be able to ask you, how did you establish yung MN Design Studio, Maro?
Okay, so again, I took up my board licensure in 2009, right after graduating. No? It was always a dream for me to establish my own practice. But of course, for me to be able to get a good traction or have a good foundation, I had to work rin for somebody else. So I worked for a company from 2010 until I believe 2013. And then from the knowledge I gained from that, doon ko establish yung, it wasn't a design studio right away. It was basically freelance work, taking in any kind of project that I can get, no, just to build a portfolio worth showing to even bigger clients.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Mauro, saan ka nag-graduate for interior design?
I graduated from UST.
UST. Okay. Tomasian din ako. But anyway, so ano ba yung normal process when you do when you graduate? Ano ba yung normal na process na ina-undergo ng isang interior designer before you had an apprenticeship, you had like kailangan mag-OJT ng ilan years? I mean, what is required before you could take your board exam and become a licensed interior designer?
For interior designer, it's not as strict as architecture. I think for architecture, there's parang certain number of years yata for apprenticeship. For interior design, nobody's policing you to actually do the OJT or the internship or whatever. For me, I took up the board exams right away. Right after graduating, I actually took up the board exams. I passed and I actually ranked 7th.
Wow!
Sir,
Yung 7th, top-notcher pala to.
Yung 7th in 2009. But I don't know kasi how the education system works right now But after kung mag-take kasi ng boards, ako pumasa. Pero not everyone kasi there's a very kind of low passing rate for interior design board exams. I think it's less than 50%.
Year after year, how many ang usually nagte-take ng board, more or less? Or ilan na lang nakakapass?
Ang sabi nila, yun na, I only know the percentage.
Yes.
But I think the average should be below 50%.
Wow. I think that's a good parameter din. No? I mean, talagang quality yung lumalabas na I mean, they're saying that legitimate. I mean, talagang capable.
Ano na rin as compared to when I was taking up interior design in college back in 2005 to 2009, mas marami na ngayon. So, medyo marami na yung interior design. Before, when you're talking about interior design schools, it's just PSID, UST, UP, UE. Ganyan lang ngayon. Even smaller schools are offering the course already.
And I think most of your professors, interior designers, are practitioner din, interior designer.
I think it's a mixed Some are talagang focusing more on the parang academics.
So going back to the journey, why interior designer and not architecture or any other fields industry? What influenced you? Who influenced you to become an interior designer?
Good question yun, kasi medyo kakaiba yung journey ko going towards interior design. It was accidental. Yun yung thinking ko before. It was accidental, pero maybe it's God leading me to something eventually now that I am here practicing the ID. No, I wasn't aware of what interior design was. Okay. Going to the course. I was only sure that I wanted to do fine arts.
Okay.
That was my background.
So magaling ka mag-drawing?
Yes, yun yung foundation ko.
Ako hindi ako magaling mag-drawing.
Cartooning was my thing.
Oh, okay.
Pero UST was only offering advertising arts, industrial. Both I don't know about. And then painting. I don't know how to paint. So interior design sounded interesting. I honestly thought it was about cars.
Wow.
But it was kind of accidental. I fell in love with the course already when I was in third year college. So I was there. Okay, tapusin na natin to. Parang ganun. But it wasn't like parang fairy tale story na bata pa ako gusto ko na mag-ID. It's really more of like I wanted to draw. And God led me to this course, which is amazing. And I'm practicing it now.
Yeah, during your school days, college days mo ng interior design, is there a situation na bigla kang napaisip, ayaw ko na?
Yeah, I wanted to shift to advertising and I was like in second sem of first year. Ayun, I don't know I just continued doing it. I fell in love with it. The idea of designing parang got to me na rin. And then yun, eventually I adapted dun sa course na to. And then yeah.
So parang diesel, no? Unti-unti talaga. Then you built up your capabilities and everything. And see, right now, who would know na from isang hindi sigurado, right now, your company that you have established, you're going 10 years already or 10 years na kaya?
Well, my dad so he told me na I was a late bloomer. Even before, I didn't like ACADS. All my family, I came from a family of doctors. So, my parents are doctors, my siblings are doctors. Tapos ako sobrang iba yung field ko. So, my dad was always telling me, wala pa ka late bloomer ka lang.
Isn't that hard? I mean, I experienced a colleague of mine, doctors din, or isang group niya, family of lawyers. Tapos nag-iisa ka na sa artistic world. Is it that hard? I mean,
it's very difficult because you have no mentors You're on your own basically. So, you have to find your own mentors, people na you can ask questions about. we didn't have background in construction pero nasa interior design field ako. So parang you know, wala ka talagang support group na nakakaintindi ng ginagawa mo. So it's difficult. You have to find people.
Pero for me, siguro if you ask me, comparing it, maybe it could also be an advantage kasi wala silang comparison. Kasi I have like friends who had like architects as their father. Then nako-compare siya ng relatives, mas magaling si dad mo or ganyan. Sometimes it causes psychological or emotional concerns then. No? So I think you look at it at a certain time na there's positive side of it. And I'm glad nga na in terms of your company, what does MN Design Studio specialize in?
I have been asked, tagal lang ako tinatanong about it, no? Pero ito nga, when I actually parang medyo tumatagal dun sa practice, doon na lang din na namin na-realize na our specialization is not really about like a specific style. Like there are firms kasi na specializing on like modern contemporary or industrial design. Kami, we realized na we're really leaning towards luxury or high-end developments, high-end interior design.
Parang bagay na bagay dito. And segue ko lang, we'd like to thank Living Innovations for sponsoring and allowing us to use this space. Talagang mga luxurious talaga yung mga furnitures and their setup is really nice. Here in Mandaluyong, try to visit them. Yeah. Anyway, going back to your, so you mentioned nga as a designer nga, di ba? Parang how do you handle yung clients niya ngayon? Parang example, you don't know if you're into modern design, minimalistic, contemporary. Any client, I mean, you could handle? I mean, or you just select, okay, sorry, we don't do those kind classical. May client ka biglang gusto classical interior design ang gusto niya. How do you handle those things?
Actually, we encourage it eh. Okay. Parang yun nga, parang I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm just doing one specific style. Siguro, it goes back dun sa, what do you call this, sa background ko of being an artist at the very core. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to draw, I wanted to create. And nandun yung foundation ko na I want to do something different all the time. So, if you check our parang portfolio, you'll be surprised na, this one's super colorful, super different, trying to be different. And this one's like a modern contemporary luxury space. Parang gano'n. So, I encourage it. Like, our portfolio actually dictates that na parang, kahit anong interior yan, mas kakaiba, mas gusto namin gawin yan. Kasi,
challenging.
Mas challenging, yeah. We don't want to be on parang this cookie cutter type of projects. We don't want that. Kasi I feel like if we're gonna be stuck with one thing only for the rest of our lives, diba, parang how boring would that be? And we're, at the end of the day, we're creators, we're designers, we're artists in a sense. So you want to build or create something different all the time.
Yeah, similarly, I mean, the same sentiments sa architectural world. Siyempre, sometimes we know our specialization. We wanted to have a niche. At first, probably, hahanapin mo talaga where you are really good or ano yung talagang you're strong at. But doesn't necessarily limit you, kung anong klaseng design. Because sabi ko nga, artists, creatives mind, love challenges. Kasi once you stop already yung challenge sa'yo, wala na. Stop na. Wala na. So, we grow di ba? We learn from the clients, we learn from the industry partners, we learn from mga kasama natin sa creative industry, talking about creative industry like interior designers and architects, there was an instance, di ba? I mean, we had like, let's say, conflict in terms of our work. Para may overlapping tayo ng services, Architects have our architectural interior, which is part of our law. And interior designer, you have your own, On our part sa architecture, sabi na, ano ba yung interior designer? I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. The basic notion namin, rule of thumb, kunwari isang box, tinumba mo, hinulog mo, ano yung nalaglag? Lahat yan sa interior designer. Sa atin, sa architecture, interior, anything permanent na fixture or elements are part of this as scope of architects. Sa interior design, I mean, how do you look at it?
Actually, you're right, there's a lot of overlap sa work, and ito yung parang nagiging cause of conflict, Pero I think this was parang more of like maybe 10 years ago, nung interior design wasn't really like very established in a sense or being recognized. And this recognition has been parang, the recognition was something the organization, PIID, has been working on for the longest time. So, for me, yung definition ko of interior design is anything inside that's not technically mechanical. Kasi again, that's the mechanical works are also inside the interior, pero it's by the engineers naman. Ngayon kasi it's more defined. Clients are hiring interior designers kasi they know na even the finishes we can actually select for them. Ayun. So it's architect, it's different. Parang for me, it's so different now na mas recognized na yung practice than as compared to before. In fact, ngayon with our development projects, for example, early on planning stages pa lang nakapasok na yung ID. Kasi less yung bakbak kapag papalipat ng, yun yung sakit namin palipat ng outlets ng true, di ba? Yeah. Cabinetry, papabakbak namin, nakakabit na. Ayun. Like, unlike before, di ba, ang trend before was, tapos na yung bahay, pasok si ID. Tapos ang daming sisirain.
Fit out.
Yun.
So I think that's the nicer way, no? I mean, coming from a corporate practice, these are the learnings that we had. No? At the early onset of the project, nasa concept stage pa lang, you will be able to ask already the client. Are you getting an interior designer? Are you getting a landscape architect? Are you getting any other specialized consultancy? Para at very first pa lang, the architects will be able to understand asan sila gagalaw and will be able to respect as well, no, yung turf mo and everything. And bottom line, syempre, our objective, mapasaya nating kliyente. The results of the project would be able to reflect anong success ng interior designer, ng architect, ng landscape architect, in designing their homes, their offices, or their buildings. Mare-reflect doon no? Once you could see the collaboration. Tama ka nga, the most expensive things nangyayari is yung pag-deconstruct. Pero at the onset pa lang ng plan pa lang, alam natin na, okay, the interior designer has the intent of putting outlets here, lighting here, di ba? That would already pave way na doon sa savings.
Yeah, correct.
Di ba? I mean, just imagine, our clientele will spend millions, di ba? Millions. But sometimes hindi, architect or interior designer, hindi na ako mag-ano, kaya na ninyo yan. In my case, when I see this project na medyo complicated or there's a thing that we need a specialized consultancy, I normally partner with that particular, na-discuss kasi earlier on, na may mga tagang strong points, no? Ang world ng architects. May strong points din mo ng mga interior designers. So, and I'm happy that yung changing the mindset of this generation is already about collaborative world, no? So you would understand how we will be able to work together. Ang habol natin is the result.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah, like you mentioned, collaboration is very important. And yun nga, ano ba yung goal? Which is basically we're all serving the same client. Basically, ganun. So, I'm happy rin. I saw yung difference 10 years ago. Pasok kami pag nandyan na. Built environment already. Tapos back gastos, like you mentioned. Ngayon, even like, and it doesn't happen on developments only, even for residential projects. Like, if may mga architects din kami na nakaka-collaborate, they already know, they're the ones already advising their clients na, you should get an ID. There's a certain level of recognition and trying to collaborate, and not just the architectural, even for the engineering side.
Yeah.
Alam nila yan si ID magrereklamo yan, ang baba ng ducting works natin, parang ganyan.
Yeah, talagang part ng process or ng circle ng creatives, no? Yung mga consultants dyan, si engineers, so electrical, si mechanical, si fire pro. Because parating natin dyan, ang masakit sa atin parating yung ceiling height, no? Because we could feel yung grandeur ng space if it's really high ceiling, and we could save space, no? And doon ko nakikita gaano kagaling yung isang designer if mamamagic niya, even kasi karamihan ng economics siguro, mga condos, mga fit-outs, they had their standard heights. Yeah. Pero pag magaling ang designer mo, they will be able to camouflage the low ceiling height by using the right materials, di ba?
There's a lot of tricks that you can...
Mauro, ano yung first project na nare-remember mo na ginawa mo as an interior designer?
Siguro not as an interior designer pa kasi we had a practicum in college that we had to basically design an actual space and renovate it. So my first ever, from my recollection, was a bedroom in Fairview. That's it.
A bedroom.
A bedroom in
Not
Fairview.
even a unit.
Not even a unit. Yeah. Ayun. So yun yung pinaka-first actual na renovation that I did. And this was back when I was student in USD pa.
So professionally, when you graduated, ano yung naalala mo ng next mo na step?
I think it was a small townhouse in Makati. Ayun. So it was syempre small works lang, hindi pa naman masyadong like full interior design service. Ayun. So actually sa practice kasi namin, puro condos lang start kami. The first few years of my practice, studio units, one bedroom, until what's fun about this practice, mako-connect mo kung saan nanggaling yung mga projects mo from the bigger ones down to the small ones. So kahit na liliit ng project na tinitake namin nung simula, sila yung naging foundation to actually get this network to go up to, right now we're doing like the whole condo developments already. Looking back, isang unit lang yung ginagawa natin dati. Ngayon, malalaki na.
Di ba, ang sarap tingnan, sarap pakiramdaman yung gano'n na you started small, then from that small, because of your good reputation, your good service, di ba, sila na mismo ang nag-refer, and that paved way to what you are now, no?
Yeah.
And I think yun yung sinasabi ko na possible na we could be able to share or inspire the young minds of the mga designers, no? Huwag masyadong magmadali. Yeah. So sometimes the mindset nila is 1 year, 2 years pa lang they wanted big projects already. Not everyone has the opportunity to have clients like that. Meron siguro isa, dalawa, but I mean, everything, you have to establish your foundation. Di ba? And those foundation, especially those small projects, you'll be able to experience, di ba? And that will be your test project, and that could also be applied the same formula for a bigger project. As you mentioned nga, you started with a 1 unit, and right now you're doing fit out for the entire development of a condo. Similarly, ganun din kami. When we started with like a house, a tiny home, then eventually, right now, from a luxurious house to buildings, condos, and from that, basta maganda yung service na naibigay mo, it would grow and they will be able to recommend. Kaya nga sometimes they ask why some designers are successful in this field. Why some professionals that will be able to get projects that much. Di ba? So, maybe ikaw, what do you want to share sa mga young minds or mga upcoming interior designers siguro?
Good question yan kasi ako parang may isa pa akong like dynamic that's actually made it difficult for me to start up. I'm a guy. I'm a straight guy in the interior design field. Medyo rare yun. So kuwari sa UST, I think 3 lang kaming graduate na lalaki. Even sa hiring scene for the interior design, I think preference yung women. Kasi ang tingin nila with guys, it's medyo matigas yung approach, very bachelor's pad, ganyan yung lumalabas sa interior. So that's another dynamic ko na made it difficult for me to actually start my practice, my own parang freelance work. So to answer, I was actually talking to Hannah about this kanina. When you're starting out, you have no portfolio, you have no network, and you don't have money. So ano lang yung meron ka. So sabi ko, what I only had then was belief in my skill, I had grit, and I stayed consistent. Pagbago ka kasi, tama ka, you mentioned kanina, nagmamadali. Actually, sa simula, you don't have the luxury of choosing the projects that you have eh. Kung ano yung pumasok, sabi ko ako, kahit isang bedroom lang yan na renovation, I'm gonna take it. But I'm gonna make sure na that bedroom will be so worthwhile for the client that I can actually add this to my portfolio. Ganun yun eh. And you have to be consistent for the next few years building your portfolio para makilala ka. Oh, 'di ba? Kasi ngayon, ang daming forms of like trying to build your network eh. Ngayon, pwede kang direct marketing, pwede kang social media. It's so easy now eh. Before, wala naman eh. 'Di ba? So before, ang foundation of building your network, building clients was referrals. So yun yung importante. That's why you have to you have to be consistent with everything that you do. Ayun. So for me, ngayon, for the younger ones, I told Hannah rin kanina, it's gonna be even more difficult for them to establish their practice now. Kasi everyone can be seen na ngayon eh. 'Di ba? Pero if you have 4,000 plus designers doing the same thing, paano mo ma-differentiate yung sarili mo? 'Di ba? So stay consistent. Don't find sabi ko sa kanya yung resources ngayon ang dali na rin. You can literally find like pegs literally with a click sa phone mo. Before you have to go to the library, you have to invest on books ngayon. Pero paano mo i-differentiate yung sources mo from others? So yun yung very important. You have to find yung individuality mo, build your identity, stay consistent. Yun lang yung ma-recommend ko dyan sa mga batang.
Talking about identity, would you believe or would you think branding is very important sa interior design work? As an interior designer, do you think the reason you're being hired is because it's Mauro? Or it's because of the designs you do? Or because ang ganda I mean, okay ba to? Service ba? Ano ba yung nakikita mong reason why clients choose a certain company when they hire or when they get their consultancy services to do the design of their development or their project?
Actually, sobrang gandang question yan, no? Kasi branding, late ko na lang din siya na-realize. Pero it is important at some point in your career because yun nga, differentiation, yung brand mo magkakaroon na ng identity. Pero yung foundational kasi niyan, at least for the interior design na nakita ko, it's you have to build muna yung yung confidence nung clientele or future clients mo for you. I mean like build your portfolio. Nakita nila you stayed consistent. Tapos sometimes yung output mo will already create yung kung anong brand ka eh. Kasi nga sabi ko ako accidental lagi, parang ganoon. Wala naman akong sinundan na styles or themes along the way for almost 10 years. Pero na-realize ko okay, parang whenever clients or even applicants go to us, their impression of us is we are high-end. We are on the high side in terms of like sa mga designs namin. So, I think your work will define your brand rather than meron kang sineset na goal. Na sabihin mo sa umpisa, starting designer ka, I want to be high-end. Makakuha ka ba talaga ng high-end project?
You can't do that one. I don't think you can do that one. No? So, I mean, you have to establish foundation. And same as what you have done, hahanapin ka talaga ng journey mo. No? You'll find your niche. No? Eventually, yun yung i-develop and i-grow mo.
You mentioned kanina, puro referrals eh. Ganyan. Totoo yun. Actually, your old clients will be the one providing you clients in the future. Like, sabi ko nga sa'yo, yung biggest projects namin right now, I can still connect it to the smallest ones that we did back then. We don't really do the marketing or like networking anymore na tawag dito,
Iba na ngayon, no? Unlike I would remember like 30 years ago, teka, alam na nila yung age ko. 30 years ago, I remember we do research work and even checking business, the business side. Ano bang projects upcoming? We could even go mga investments and everything. Kasi in some cases, pag sa newspaper, late ka na. Sa magazines, late ka na bago pumasok. So, next project na nila. Unlike right now, because of social media, malaking bagay, no? I mean, it really helped out level the field, no? The opportunity for the young guys. Kaya lang, doon minsan kasi, if they will be able to project themselves as an experienced designer, minsan doon nagkakamali. And the client would had wrong impression already about that field. No? Minsan kunwari pumalpak si architect, pumalpak si interior designer, pumalpak si engineer. Sometimes choosing the right consultant. No?
Yeah.
Just making sure that they're really experienced. So, it's okay naman to be wild in terms of but you have to be careful. You have to protect your profession. Yes. And you have to respect your profession.
Parang parang you mentioned the branding kanina, how important it is. It is important. Super problem is a lot of like or some designers are parang banking on that alone. Meaning bago pa lang full on the branding Tapos, yung output is hindi nag-align, 'di ba? So, like you mentioned, yun yung ang problem dyan kasi hindi lang naman focus on that parang practitioner na pumalpak. It's gonna be on the industry as a whole. Ayun. So, I think yan, isa ring point of parang concern yan is yung regulation. Paano nire-regulate ba talaga yung practice? Ganyan. Dami ring illegal practitioners. Sobrang dami.
But I think one important matter that especially on the design field that we are encountering is our AI, yung artificial intelligence na tinatawag, no? What's your stand on it? Kasi is it like a threat or a tool on your part?
This show is brought to you by Cine Haraya Advertising Corporation, Davies, Landlight, and Rockwool Philippines. And thank you to the brand partners that make this show happen.
Freedom has a color. It lives in the seas that surround us, the skies that open our future, and the dreams that carry us forward. In 2026, Davies unveils a color that unites calm with energy, heritage with innovation, and the Filipino spirit with the world. Malaya Teal, the color of freedom.
But I think one important matter that especially on the design field that we are encountering is our AI, yung artificial intelligence na tinatawag, no? What's your stand on it? Kasi is it like a threat or a tool on your part?
I don't consider it as a threat. And it's also not a question of are you going to adapt it? It's more of when are you going to adapt it? Do you wanna be late in the game na i-adapt mo siya or you wanna parang utilize it now? Kasi ako, I am big on technology. I like trying out new software all the time. And whether we like it or not, the AI kasi is gonna be part of this technologies eh. Parang gano'n. Like for example, rendering. Rendering before, we both know naman, architect, before manual. We have to do our pen and ink.
Ilang ano, no? It would take you so many days, no? Hours, everything, may correction. Oh no!
So what happened? What happened is establishment of strong computers. So V-Ray happened, pero V-Ray would like take 7 hours to render one scene, for example. Now it's 20 seconds. Sometimes it's 5 seconds. And this software will eventually, I think, already infuse AI into their systems. For example, this company called Enscape for rendering is already using AI inside. Meaning, after you render, pag-click mo ng button, it's gonna upload it into the internet and then it's gonna make it even more realistic. And it's part already.
It will enhance, no?
Enhance already. So it's a question of are you going to utilize it as a tool or think and be threatened na, oh, it's gonna change. Yeah. I don't think it will.
Kasi maraming mga designers, no, would say, oh no, next time machine na lang lahat yan, softwares na lang yan, and designers are not needed in this design world, no. So I think I had the same stand, no? We have to adapt and we have to embrace the technology, no, and grow with it, no. Definitely kasi these are creatives but they still need our mind. Ano yung gusto natin? You'll be the one dictating it, eh. So that's the brand, that's the design that you had, no? I think we have that similar thoughts as a designer on that aspect.
Adding on to that, no, so you said the mind, it's also the heart.
Yes.
You'll know it. Pag nakita mo yung isang image, you know na hindi to gawang tao. Walang flaws eh. Or merong flaws, sobrang daliri. Kunwari, sa isang picture, nagawa na AI generated, for example, or parang hindi aligned. Tayo kasi, as creatives and technical people, nakikita natin na like this style has to align to this specific finish. AI won't be able to do that. Or maybe it will. Maybe in the next 20 years. We don't know. But again, it's being able to adapt. The see manual in Architect before. Like before, manual lang naman lahat eh. Meaning, when you see manual, pen and ink. And then you're gonna use markers or watercolor. And then everyone was forced to go to basically CAD softwares. Computer-aided na lahat. Nag-evolve. And now, it's AI. After AI, meron pa ulit yan. It's just a matter of, are you gonna allow yourself na maiwanan? Or be defined by that technology? Or just use it as a tool?
How about your stand with DIY? I mean, as an interior designer. Kasi last pandemic, di ba? Yun yung marami, you know? I mean, because of social media, some magazines and everything, you'll be able to see, or sa mga depots, they will be able to do, no? What's your advice? I mean, doing DIY. What's your stand?
There's nothing wrong with it, especially if you're just gonna do it for your own home. Let's face it, not everyone can hire an interior designer for their house. Diba? Sometimes it's not really like an investment for them na gagawing Airbnb or rental. It's just really more for themselves. So if it's not gonna affect others in a way, if it's your own home, for as long as it's not structural or anything involving architectural or engineering, for me it's okay. For your own consumption. Pero if you DIYing it as a service to others, siguro doon ako magkakaroon ng like negative na parang reaction. And it's happening also.
So before we end this interview, we'd like to thank Sine Heraya making this interview possible, and same time again, thank you to the space that was provided by Living Innovations, and syempre later on we'll drink the coffee as prepared by A-Codes. No? So cafe, thank you, and again, thank you, Maro. Maybe you have some words of where can people reach you? They'll be able to see the works of MN Design Studios.
So you can visit our website, mndesignstudio.ph. We also have socials. You can check mndesignstudio.ph on Instagram and on Facebook. You can reach us through our website, or you can email us at minteriors.ph@gmail.com.
I would like to thank Chino and Hannah for having us here. Thank you again, Maro.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank
Good
you.
luck.
Build Boss PH is produced by Sinharaya Advertising Corporation. Don't forget to like and follow our page for more interviews, podcasts, and features with the industry's best.